Hi, this is Matt with Rogue Tactics, and this is my Dice Masters diary for January 20th. This is my second attempt at recording this because the first attempt crashed, so I'm going to try to go through as fast as possible without anywhere near as much rambling as my first attempt. So I spent the last weekend up in Denton at the Madness PDC. I had a great time. Everybody there was super cool. It was, I guess, my second time in Denton. I'm officially a member of the Rubber Gloves drinking club because I guess it's a dry county and you have to be a member to get a beer up there. And I was up there watching the Marked Men play a farewell show. So if you're into punk rock and you understand how important Denton is to Texas punk rock, it was super important that I was there to see that show in their hometown because Denton is a birthplace of a bunch of great bands, including the Riverboat Gamblers, which I coincidentally am wearing the shirt for, not on purpose, but a happy accident. Yeah. And it's weird that I monologued my whole Denton speech in the last video without even realizing I was wearing a Riverboat Gamblers shirt. But how did I do? I was able to make it to the semifinals. The very first game of the tournament, it was against my opponent was running Big Entrance, Zarina, and Gabi. And I was running the team that I had said in my last diary, or the last two diaries. I guess the one that I barely missed the cutoff. And I saw his team. I was like, oh no, he's going to rush with that. And even though I've practiced that team a lot, and I've practiced that team on multiple times as if I bought my opponent's Big Entrance, and I eventually said, you know what, this is not good for me. I don't like this. I can't get where I need to be by turn 3 if I buy a Big Entrance and then buy a bunch of Zarinas. So I had totally discarded that idea. But when I saw his team, I freaked out. I was like, oh no, I'm going to have to outrace him. So I bought his Big Entrance. And of course, I wasn't there where I wanted to be by turn 3, and everything kind of went downhill from there. So I guess the lesson from that match, and it's a lesson for everybody, if you practice running your team a certain way, obviously adapt to the situation, but don't change it just because. I was prepared to face a team with Big Entrance, and I messed up and went against my plan. I was able to win the next 3 games, which put me into the semifinals just because the guy that beat me was the eventual winner. So congrats to him. If you're going to lose to the head guy, I guess, the big winner of it all. So I went to the semifinals, and it was, the best of 3 in 50 minutes. Our first game was atrocious. Neither of us could roll anything. It was really bad. And eventually I lost, but this was about minute 40. And I was like, well, that's okay. My team's typically fast. I get to start off this turn, so hopefully I can get enough damage in that I could force a game 3 and maybe win with super luck. Nope. My first turn, I rolled 2 sidekicks, a shield, and a fist. So I bought a Zarina and fielded those sidekicks. My opponent was able to roll masks, and he ramped, and my turn 2 was like, oh, I roll 4 dice. His turn 2 was like, I roll 7 dice. And the game was academic because he beat me before they even called time. It wasn't a total loss. I'm a giant ice cream nerd. And in Denton, there is this old-timey ice cream parlor called Beth Marie's. So I totally went there afterwards and hooked myself up with some cinnamon ice cream with Cinnamon Toast Crunch mixed in. So, that was pretty darn awesome. Again, mad props to the Madness crew and the crews that came up from all around there, because it was not just, it was Tyler, it was Aerostar, it was Plano. Everybody came up. So, yeah, dude, thanks to everybody who came out. Thanks to Madness for hosting it. It was, thanks to Carl for judging because he did a great job. He has this really cool, this really awesome art on the drawn-in Iron Fist. It looked great. Yeah, I had a great time. So, thanks to everybody up there. I am going to be traveling again this weekend, going out to Huntsville to try out a brand new team, a team that me and my teammate Bane had been ruminating in our head, but then Sunday, Monday, it just smashed together and worked out perfectly. And we're really excited about it. I'm not going to get much into details on it because he's running a very similar team, and I'm cool with exposing myself, but he's my teammate. I can't give out his tech yet. Oh, in my last diary, I forgot to tell you about what we were playing for Casual Sunday. The theme for Casual Sunday was one 1 cost, 1 2 cost, 1 3 cost, and so on and so forth until you get your 8 cost in. It's starting to skip, so I'm gonna try to go pretty fast now. My 1 cost, of course, was the Swarming Kobold, just because it's probably the best choice of the 3 blend costs out there. Yeah, it's a no-brainer right there. My 2 cost was the Rare Beast from Age of Ultron, the one that says when he attacks, you draw and roll a die, and if it's energy, you put it in your use pile. Because I'm not running Professor X, I wanted to save my 6 slot for something else, and my 5 and 6 slot for something else. I was like, I needed a way to get sidekicks out of my bag, so I was hoping to pull that off. A couple other players ran this beast, and it didn't work out the way they wanted, so... Oh, I forgot to mention, I didn't play. We had an even number, and as a judge, I just sat out. My 3 cost is kind of a trolley card. It's the half-orc warrior thingy, fighter, because he needed adventurer, and I knew everybody was playing those swarming kobolds that I was like, I'm going to make them attack and make them lose their swarm. And just to make stuff kind of grosser, my actions were transfer power and magic missile, and I was like, well, they had that one. If they had the level 1 or 2 kobold out, I'm going to play a bolt during my turn, KO their kobold, and then buff up, get experience points on my orc. So that was my kind of trolley jerky plan. If you noticed, my theme so far has been Fist Energy, and I thought I'd take advantage of that with the rare ring. Ideally I'd be attacking with a bunch of like orcs and beasts and have like the fist just hanging out in my reserve pool do extra damage. My 5 cost was the Green Dragon, the Apprentice Dragon, the one that's got no text, just the Breath Weapon 2. My 6 cost, I realized, does not work with my 7 cost. It was actually very counterintuitive because it's the Venom, the rare Venom, the one that debuffs all your opponent's non-fist characters, but it's got a global that says pay a fist to spin down an opponent's fist character down a level. And that directly conflicts with the rare Colossus, the one that says when Colossus is active at the end of your turn, each of your characters of level 2 or higher deal 2 damage to your opponent. So obviously, I wouldn't be able to keep anything a level 2 or higher since I only had fist characters and I had a global that directly spun my stuff down. So it's quite fortunate for me that I didn't get a chance, or I didn't have a chance to get humiliated by my own team. Finally, my 8 cost was the Obelisk, the super rare, just because I thought I had the rare, but I did not. The super rare says, well, this monster is active. Your opponent must pay 1 life to summon a monster. And I figured that comes too late in the game for it to really make a huge difference. We're talking 2-3 life max before the game ends. And I didn't think it was going to come into play. The theme for this week, which I'm unfortunately going to miss, but luckily my friend Dennis is going to be judging. Thanks, Dennis. Is dice of 1 color. So the base of the die, whatever, has to be a thing. So if this guy was playing all brown, he could run Man-Eating Bug, and all your dice have to be that thing. And I really like casual Dice Masters play. It helps grow the scene. It helps get new players into the game and stuff like that. So yeah, dude. Both casual and competitive play is needed to keep a scene healthy. Okay, so I just got a flicker, so I better wrap this up pretty fast. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. I try to keep these diaries out weekly. I'll try to get more videos out on a more regular thing. I guess we've got 2 more weeks of PDCs, so after that I should have a free weekend to really kick out some content. Thank you. This has been Matt with Heroic Tactics, and may all your dice roll hot.